What is going on, everyone? It's your boy JR Special back from limbo, from the depths of nowhere. I've been away for a while, but I'm back now, and what a time to be back. Just watched that Nintendo Switch presentation. Blad. Bruv. Sonny Jim Boyo lad. Player. Okay. Let me just start from the end because that's the part I can remember most vividly. Nintendo came so hard body with that Zelda trailer. Like, I can't even. I mean, we've seen the game a bunch of times already, but the way that trailer was cut together, it just kind of highlighted why this change to having voice talent in the game is such a huge deal, and how much more it adds to The Legend of Zelda. Because it just made it like a whole another emotional depth to what was happening in the trailer. I was like, I'm gonna be studying this trailer like 5,000 times over. Plus, it's a launch game, March 3rd, Nintendo Switch release date. Nintendo gave me a lot of reasons to be annoyed because I was like, oh no, 4 a.m. If this thing don't deliver, I'm gonna be not a nappy lad. It was worth having a little nap at 2 a.m., setting my alarm clock before waking up and watching this, because straight away Nintendo, like, no messing about, straight away to the launch date, straight away to the price point, which is what, $300. I haven't even had time to convert it into English money, so, but they did say that it would vary, I think, throughout Europe, so you'd have to check your where you live, more or less. I can't even. My brain doesn't even work right now. It's so hyped. Okay, yeah. So then, also on my date, Soul Spice on the Rice region free games, Nintendo. Thank you. Like, there are so many things that are obvious that you should have been doing already. That was one of them, and you're doing it. Happy lad. I'm a happy. You're just making me an happy lad. And all this time, straight onto the games, man. I'm just, my mind is so splintered. I'm gonna be talking like a madman, but bear with me. Nintendo. I knew when they showed off for the very first trailer for the Switch, and it was like, oh, it looks like an enhanced version of Splatoon. I was like, lad, that's Splatoon 2, bruv. Oh, enhanced version of Splatoon. It's Splatoon 2. Then Nintendo revealed it was Splatoon 2. The game looks sick. Game looks just like the first one, which is nowhere near an insult. That game was such a highlight for the Wii. I think it's a really good idea that they have such strength and confidence in this new IP that they're continuing with the sequel straight away for, I think it was the summer, which is going to be really good. Also, I liked some. Well, actually, I liked all of it, but I liked the third party stuff they showed off. Just having some, that thing they kept doing on the stage with um the guy saying, okay, let's switch to that, and then do the click sound, and the new developer would be on stage and talk, mixing it with some Western and Japanese developers, which is good. Suda51, cool beans. EA, that's cool. Even though it wasn't the game I wanted to hear about, FIFA, it's still good that the Switch is getting it, because that's a game that sells easily. That's easy money. So to have that on your console is really, really advantageous. Um, I was hoping for Mass Effect Andromeda, but it's cool. Maybe it will still come. Shin Megami Tensei, awesome. I don't think we're gonna get Persona 5, so getting a Shin Megami Tensei game is fine by me as a consolation. Reconfirmed Dragon Quest 10 and 11, and then Heroes 1 and 2 as well. So that's 4 Dragon Quest games. Happy lad, mate. I'm an happy lad. And then they had another new IP. It's like a 2.5D RPG game from Square Enix as well. So Square Enix is definitely backing it. Happy lad. What really intrigued me though was that Nintendo game that they first showed off 1-2 Switch, and how he was kind of describing it as not having to look at any screen. Like, you look at each other. I was thinking, that's Nintendo all trying something, even though it sounds kind of outlandish. Nintendo was willing to try something different, to not for the sake of saying they're making something revolutionary, but for the sake of being able to extend the means of play for people. I think that's really cool that they're trying something, because I mean, it's nice to obviously have good graphics and to have, a powerful console, but if all the games are the same, is it really does it really make a difference? Whereas if you're having games that are unique, I think that really, really adds to the the ability that the console has to bring in different types of people to play. So I think that was really good. And that other game they showed off Arms. Yeah, that looks sick. It's funny because Nintendo didn't show off necessarily like all this gritty kind of gameplay, or gritty games rather. But I was kind of just like, I'm so hyped on what I'm seeing right now. I don't even mind. Like the fact that Skyrim was confirmed. Happy. Do you know how happy my grin, mate? I look like the Cheshire Cat right now, fam. I look like that just 5 seconds ago after I finished watching this thing. I was like, blood. Then, what other great games did they show off? My head is just is spinning. It's actually spinning. Fire Emblem Warriors, which I think that's going to be the next like Hyrule Warriors game. That's fine by me. I liked Hyrule Warriors. I liked that they tried to do something different with the Legend of Zelda's history and with its mythos and the lore and everything. Tried to do a kind of a spin on it. I think Fire Emblem would be cool for that too. There's a lot of different characters, a lot of different worlds that they could explore, a lot of different storylines they could explore too. So that would be really cool. I think overall, I'm just. Oh, how could I forget? How could I forget the spiciest game of them all? Well, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't that well. Okay, apart from Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, fam. Lad. I can't even get my Z's out, bro. My breath can't even. This Mario game. Lad. What got me gassed was the fact that I weren't seeing no Mushroom Kingdom stuff. Straight away, it reminded me of Mario Galaxy with the huge open world kind of design. But then, what I, I just what sank me, I can't even, my mind can't even comprehend. What got me supremely gassed was the fact that every game you're seeing, as beautiful as it looks, you can also take on the go. I was like, when I saw Mario Odyssey, and I was like, okay, that game looks sick. And I was thinking, hold on a second, I can walk out my yard with that, fam. I was, you know how happy a lad I am right now. Happy lad, bruv. That game looks so spicy. Looking like a Hindi fam. And then Nintendo showing off something that I thought needed to be addressed, and they seem to have recognized it themselves straight away with the Joy-Cons. The fact that it didn't look completely comfortable, but they've already seemed to have seen that problem with some foresight. Got the straps, which add like more weight to it, more kind of clunk, give it more body. That's the word I'm looking for, more body, and you get uh, kind of more comfortable shoulder buttons too, which is nice. And then they've got the two color variations for the Joy-Cons themselves, the red and blue, as well as just the standard grey. I think that's really cool. Obviously, I think through time there'll probably be more, which is cool too. Some things I noticed Nintendo didn't mention, which I don't think they needed to really at this point or at this presentation, because they were really, really focusing on games. Like, it was just about games, which I definitely agree with that outlook. Didn't mention obviously how powerful it is, which is still kind of up for debate. But based on what I saw, those games that will be running on it, not too worried. Like, not that worried because those games looked amazing, but most of all, they looked amazing gameplay wise, not just graphically. So that's something I've always found for me personally to be more important. It needs to play well, be enjoyable, and then it looking good, kind of like a console. It's like an added bonus. So they didn't obviously talk about how powerful the console was. Didn't talk about like memory, stuff like that. But what I did like that they mentioned was the fact that it's got USB Type C, because that's future proofing right there, and that's super useful. And also the fact that they mentioned it for certain games would be the battery life will be shorter or longer, like 2.5 hours up to 6 hours. But then I was thinking to myself, oh no, that's not that long. But then I thought to myself, honestly, it's primarily a home console first off, so most of the time you're gonna have it docked. When you don't have it docked, you're gonna be walking around your house. Everybody's got USB cables all over the place. You've got plugs all over the place in your house. You can plug it in. You can play it while it's charging. That's another good point. Also now, something that's becoming more and more prominent is portable charging. People bring in charge battery bricks, power bricks if you want to, with them around. So it having a shorter battery life isn't really an issue because you just pull out your power brick, plug it into it, and you can continue playing. So it's not really an issue. I think in terms of it having capacitive touchscreen, all good stuff. Thumbs up all the way. What really kind of got me, and I know it was a pattern and a rumor for a while, but it's been like really, really confirmed. Obviously, was Nintendo showing off the HD vibration thing, like it was describing having ice cubes in a glass and you could feel the ice cubes and stuff. I was like, I really want to try that. That sounds really cool. But today, this morning, happy lad. I'm just an happy lad. All of that time I've been wondering what Nintendo were gonna bring to the table, thinking, oh, should they have done a direct? No, I don't think they should have. This was a really good idea to have a live presentation because it gives it more of a sense of it's not practiced so much so that it's perfect. Absolutely, like things could have gone wrong, but they didn't, which is good. And also the fact that they're confident enough to show it off live as opposed to having to pre-record it and just have people speak and stuff like that. I think that was really cool. Plus, the whole thing about him, the host, he switch to this, switch to that, switch to this, and it kept swapping on the stage. That wouldn't have worked obviously in a direct. I think that really, well, it would have, but it looked better because it was live. So I think, let me just quickly go back to Breath of the Wild quick. Let me just quickly go back to Breath of the Wild. That game, lad. Yeah, the spice. Like, imagine Gold's chilies, fam. I don't even touch the level of this game spiciness. I was like, I've seen practically all of the kind of, apart from a few different gameplay videos that Nintendo has released, I've watched almost everything from Breath of the Wild. What really impressed me was the Jimmy Fallon kind of exhibition, you could say, where it was kind of the first time you really see it playing on the Switch itself, not superimposed images with lag and all of that stuff, and it just showed how smooth the game actually runs, because it was right there in front of everyone to see, so that was really impressive. But what's impressing me is the scale of this game. Like, it shows it in this trailer from this presentation. Link is walking through all of these different types of places, and it is Hyrule, but you got snowscapes, you got deserts, you got forests, you got towns, and I'm just like, my brain can't even comprehend how big this game is. Because Zelda is always meant to be big, but now they've got the power and the engines and the means to make the game truly huge. And it looks like it's really delivering on that promise. Then, when they said they were going to put voice acting in it, I was like, oh no, that's not going to work. Because, Link's not meant to have a voice. It just isn't going to work. But everyone else having a voice. I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work either. You can't see my face, but my chin is touching the ceiling. It works. When I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure you must have watched the trailer by now. So if you haven't, this is kind of a spoiler. I'm pretty sure the girl you see in there is Zelda. And I was like, throughout the trailer, she's speaking about stuff that's happening, and you think to yourself, imagine now if there was no voice for any of it, for anyone, for any of it. What's happening in the trailer would still be emotional, but it wouldn't connect to you to that level of depth where the cutscenes are just like there's one scene in the trailer. I'm not gonna tell you, watch it, where Link and Zelda are interacting, and it's like, okay, this is like really deep, like it feels emotional and stuff. That's a good thing. That shows that you're willing to take that risk with an IP that's tried and tested and true, and you're twisting a little bit, you're adding in things that people didn't necessarily think would work. Probably even people at Nintendo didn't think it would work, but it works, and I am so hyped for this game. I'm actually just sitting here waiting for this pre-order page to. Fam, you think I need to get this Switch right now, fam? Oh, and I just read about the plans for Nintendo's paid online service. Sounds a bit iffy, to be honest. Kind of sounds like something Microsoft would do, or Sony would do. Making you pay what, or the privilege to be able to use voice chat is a paid one. That makes no sense to me. Like, why would you say to your customers, "Oh, you have to pay to be able to speak"? That's kind of dumb. Especially when you have apps like Wii U Chat, although nobody uses it. I think is it Wii U Chat or Speak? It's like Skype, which is free. So why am I paying to just be able to talk to someone? Kind of silly. But then they've kind of bringing themselves back, I guess. They have a thing that Sony and Microsoft do. You have one free game a month, but it's a SNES or a NES game apparently, which is kind of an interesting twist on it. They were mentioning Ultra Street Fighter 2, which is kind of like a reworked version where they're saying you can be able to play with online capability, which is kind of cool. But yeah, a bit iffy about that, to be honest. I hope that it's not like a completely set in stone thing, that they can kind of adjust it. Because yeah, paying for voice chat, just that ain't cool. That's not smart. But I hope Nintendo recognize that and kind of just change it. Because I mean, they're not going to bring the paid service until like autumn. So we'll see. I was going to say fall, but we don't say that over here in England town. We say autumn because that's what it is. It's autumn. Anyway, I think that Nintendo are probably gonna get some complaints from quite a few people. So I think that they should already start kind of revising that. Yeah, just a little added on extra there. I think that Nintendo should work on. Finally, last game I was going to mention, I almost forgot about it, Xenoblade 2. That game is looking sick, fam. I thought it was going to be Xenoblade 3. I thought Chronicles X was technically 2, but I guess it's not, so it's all gravy with me. The game looks great. Um, the scale, once again, looks huge. Graphically, it looks really, really, really pretty, really nice, which is always an added extra. I really like the soundtrack that they used, and also it seems to have the art style's changed again. Like it's more anime. Like the characters look more like anime characters than they did in the previous Xenoblade game, and that's absolutely fine with me. I have no problems with that at all. I think it's once again it's a really strong IP, and Nintendo continue to support it and continue to develop new ones is really good. I think it's funny because I actually thought Nintendo would show even more games than they did, but the ones they showed were a very wide kind of spectrum in terms of Japanese developers, Western developers, or American, if you want to call it that. But the fact that they were promising that over 80 games are already in development, and then a lot of the, like, pretty much apart from Bethesda and EA, I think, and a few others like obviously Sega and Atlas and stuff like that. Most of the developers that are on their the sample page for people that are in support of the console didn't have anything to announce or haven't said anything yet. So still waiting for Take Two to confirm Red Dead Redemption 2 or maybe GTA 6. That would be awesome. But anyway, a man can dream because now we actually have the developers on side. And I almost forgot to mention, just before I sign off, today was good because I got to see that Switch presentation. But tomorrow, Blad, Blad, tomorrow is gonna be even better. Nintendo were holding this competition on. They emailed me with like entered this competition for the chance to be able to play the Switch, and I was like, oh, let me just enter it because I'm not gonna win. Nintendo gave me the spiciest email I've ever received in my life when it said, I'm giggling like a little girl when it was like, you've won the chance to go play the Switch. I was like, Blad. Jeez. So Saturday or tomorrow, I'm gonna go up to Hammersmith in the morning, go bang out that Nintendo. Do you even know? After watching that presentation, do you know how hyped I am for tomorrow? Like, I'm gonna try and do a video about it, about like my impressions and stuff. But I might be so hyped, I might not even be able to bring myself to actually make the video. But we'll see what happens in it. Let's hope for the best, cause. So, anyway, man, just want to end on an even higher note than the presentation itself. Me, your boy JR Special again to play the Switch the day after the presentation. That just solidified how awesome this console gonna be. Anyway, man, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think of that presentation. What games looking forward to? Are you gonna stick to using the Joy-Cons individually, or as the grip configuration, or just get a Pro controller and leave those two out? What do you think about Nintendo switching from free online to a period of free online and then it becoming a paid service? What do you think of that? What do you think of Nintendo announcing that they're gonna have photo captures but video captures later as well? The controllers, what do you think that's gonna be like? The system itself, just your general impressions. I want to hear what you guys think. Let me know what you think, man. I really want to hear it. Share, like, and subscribe. I really need that support, bro. So help me out. I'll catch you on the next video, man. It is your boy John Space. So happy to be back. But for this video, I'm signing out, man. In a bit, son.